The Dallas Mavericks no longer control their own destiny. The Dallas Mavericks will miss the play-in.
Wow. These are just growing pains that we're going through right now in the pressure cooker of the season. You know, it's just tough lessons we got to learn.
Biggest letdowns this season, Western Conference. Ah yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the NBA playoffs are upon us, and it's that time once again where fans, players, even teams begin to evaluate their season and the prospects of them winning a championship. In today's feature, I want to speak about 3 teams that have been the biggest disappointments heading into series play based on their expectations at any point during the season, the talent they have on the roster, or the individual play of their star player once again not doing enough for the team to believe in a bright future with him in the driver's seat. Like every year, most teams by now have an understanding of whether or not they'll make the final 8 in the conference, and some are half games behind or fighting for a play-in spot in hopes they create some late magic and the chips fall in their favor. But then there are a few, when looking at the standings, you really didn't expect to be bottom feeding at this point or struggling just to get in when we know there's only so far they can go. To me, the Western Conference is still the toughest conference to come out of, with the best players, especially after some moving around of Hall of Fame talent from East to West during the season. Being difficult out west should be expected by now, as the top 11 teams in the conference I could see having real shots at getting it done if everything somehow goes as planned. Yet there's still a few of those franchises you look at and you say, what's going on in Dallas? How have they been middle of the pack all year to now fighting for a play-in spot, currently 11th in the conference, with a real chance of not making it at all? Of course, the Mavericks aren't the same team they were last year when they actually went to the Western Conference Finals as the 4th seed. They have great experience under their belt, one of the best players in the league in Luka Doncic, a year older now in his 5th year. This would be the first time since his rookie season he didn't lead his team to the playoffs should they in fact not make it, which seems very likely with 5 games to go in their regular season. Or the Lakers, who by default are always expected to contend, especially this season, beginning with 3 top 75 players on the roster in their 2nd season together and having the top player of his generation still in dominating form when he's on the floor. What about the Trailblazers, who also have a top 75 guy probably on his last chances, leading them to a championship off individual play and loyalty alone? They are 13th in the West with no shot at all, falling off since their 2019 Western Conference Finals run. In my opinion, these 3 teams have been the biggest letdowns out West, and here's why. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next.
It's really frustrating. I don't feel it's me. I used to have really fun smiling on court, but it's just been so frustrating.
Team number 1, the Dallas Mavericks. We have to begin this with what I think is the most disappointing team out west this season. The Mavericks went to the conference finals last year, finishing 4th, climbing every year since Luka's rookie season. From no playoff to 7th and 1st round exit to 5th seed, 1st round exit, then of course 4th seed and 1 step away from the NBA Finals. But this year, a drastic fall off after giving up so much in attempts to make the team better mid-season. On February 6, 2023, the Mavericks decided to pull the trigger on Kyrie Irving, bringing him to the team via trade with the Brooklyn Nets, sending Spencer Dinwiddie, Finney Smith, who was a great perimeter defender, a 2029 first-round pick, and 2 second-round picks to the Nets in exchange for the Nets' top 75 snub and 4th quarter points leader Kyrie Irving. They were 4th in the West. To me, I never liked that trade, and here's why. 1. Luka Doncic. Doncic, to me, is a guy that will never be happy if he has competition threatening his position on the floor and on the team. If you ever pair him with another star guard, he's always going to pout his way out the situation, even if it means they lose because of it. We've seen it first with Dennis Smith Jr. Luka came into his rookie season with DSJ as the assumed point guard of the future for the Mavericks. He also had a pretty solid rookie year. When Luka came in and had success early, he started showing small signs here and there he didn't want DSJ on the team, and with the entire NBA so enamored with Luka's potential, the team traded Smith Jr. and gave Luka the keys. That same energy is being showed now with Kyrie coming into the fold. Luka could do that with Dennis Smith Jr. because he was the young guy coming in with insane potential written all over him. DSJ was just an alright rookie who may have even been seen as disappointing. Soon as the Mavs saw their diamond in the rough not happy, they moved DSJ. But Kyrie is a champion, a perennial all-star, best ball handler and finisher ever, leading the league in fourth quarter points and a signature shoe deal. Luka isn't accomplished enough yet for those passive-aggressive tactics to work on Kyrie like they have with DSJ, and that's frustrating him. He wants it to look bad going into the summer where the team has to make a decision on Irving, as well as Kyrie making one to stay or not. Which brings me to the second point. I don't think Kyrie ever wanted to play there long term. I still think he'll make his way back to either LeBron or KD this summer, as Dallas was only a short detour in his career. They don't defend, chemistry is gone now that they traded their pieces to success or didn't pay them in Brunson's case, and now they're left with a pouting superstar and a Hall of Famer with a bigger agenda than winning in Dallas. Spencer and Brunson were huge losses because of Spencer's off-the-bench explosion ability and shooting, and Brunson was the perfect guard Luka wouldn't be threatened by. Team number 2, the Portland Trailblazers. The reason I say the Blazers is because it's almost sad what's going on in Portland just as a basketball city. The Blazers haven't won a championship except the one they have from 1977. My clearest memories of them were them being the Jailblazers and laughing stocks for ineptitude for decades. They finally draft a superstar, one that could be considered the best point guard in the league if he got a chance to compete on the big stages, with a real opportunity to win it all by having other good players on his team. Instead, year after year, he's in a situation he has to carry heavy loads to produce wins all by himself. It's because as a city, no one wants to come to Portland. It's just not one of America's attractive cities. I'm sure it's nice, but who would ever say the word Portland if they didn't have a basketball team? Do they have great weather, known for their food dishes, movie stars, a winning history? No, nothing. Therefore, players who are free agents always pass on them in favor of other places they can live where they won't feel they're going off somewhere for their careers and life can die quietly. Dame is all that's keeping Portland even relevant by continuing to be loyal to them. At this point, he almost has to, because if he leaves and never wins, then what was all the loyalty for? But he alone can't help this team win a chip at 32, with injuries starting to affect him individually. They're the third worst team in the West at 13th, a huge disappointment this year, but I get why. Team number 3, the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers being disappointing seems to be a regular theme in the last 5 years. It's when LeBron got there, which makes no sense, seeing as he's considered the best in the game and even the GOAT. But his teams missed the playoffs twice and made them twice, winning a chip in 2020. They are currently in 8th position with the Pelicans and OKC right behind, with 6 games left to go and a hobbled LeBron still working his way back from a foot injury. They've been finishing strong, winning 4 of their last 5 games to put them in position they have a chance making the postseason, but still not enough for me to see them winning it all. They came in with 3 Hall of Famers, traded one of them to the team next door, and are still dealing with an unpredictable Anthony Davis because of his injury-prone history and LeBron fighting age and being asked to carry another team on his back. Are they talented enough even after the addition by subtraction Westbrook's trade was to make the playoffs? Yes. but can they win it all or even make it past the first round? Doubtful, when this was the year they should have contended. All in all, these three teams have a lot of work to do going forward and will probably look a lot different even next season. They had high hopes this year and expectations that have proven to be just that for these reasons. Salute, much respect, can't wait for these playoffs. Let me know which teams you think were disappointing out east. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.